Yes, class. Capillary theories. The capillary theory that we studies in this chapter. The intake of water by capillary is possible only by the small sized plant, and the capillary results from the adhesion of the water molecule to the surface of the small tubes, and the adhesion of the water to the surface of the tube pulls water up and tube that can be observed by placing the capillary in a beaker full of the water, and the water columns in the capillary rises up to a few inches. And in plant also, scientists feel that the small rise in water columns can occur by capillary, and accordingly to this theory, the water is first taken is due to the force of the adhesion between the water molecules and the wall of the xylem vessels, and then as the water moves upward, the cohesion force amongst the amongst the water molecule help us to rise up in the column. However, it has been observed that the tube having a diameter of the xylem element and capillary rises water less than 1 meter. Therefore, the capillary alone cannot account for the movement of the water to the top of the tree. Capillary tubes. This theory was given by the scientist Henry Dixon in 1914. The cohesion theory is based on the force of the cohesion between the water molecules and the transpiration pull create at the leaves. In figure 1.14, this figure we understand better. Evaporation. First is evaporation, in which there is a tube in which mercury is filled, and the mercury get rises water filled tubes and the porous substance, and when the mercury rises, the water get evaporate from the porous pot. And another diagram in which there is a transpiration, and transpiration in which the mercury give rises, and the mercury rise in the tube as the transpiration occur from the leaves, and these are the leaves in which the mercury is rises up, and the leafy shoot, this is called the leafy shoot, in which the transpiration occur, and this process occur in light. This is light reaction, and this is dark reaction. Next, it is explained how water moves up in the xylem vessels in the plant. According to this theory, the driving force for the movement of the water is the water potential gradient and generated by the transpiration. Hence, this theory is also known as transpiration pull theory. As the sequence of the event is summarized in figure 1.15 as is given below. Evaporation of the water from the leaf surface transpiration reduces the water in the cell walls of the mesophyll cells. This loss of water lower the water potential of the mesophyll cells, thereby causing them to take up the water from adjacent cells, and which have the higher water potential. The water moves from the adjacent cells along with the water potential gradient. Now, the water lost from the adjacent cells and replaced by the water moving from the xylem elements of the leaf. The loss of the water from the xylem creates the negative pressure called tension, which is transmitted through the down to the roots, thereby lifting the water columns of the plant. A kind of the water potential gradient existing from the leaf to the roots in figure 1.15 and creates a transpiration pull. In this diagram, we understand better. There is a root. There is a root here, and these are the soil particles which are present at the lower and the upper side. And these are the water molecules. That these dark points are the water molecules which are moves to the root here, and then transfer to the cells. These are the apibema cells are present, which are double membrane, and then these cells are the cortex cells, and the water molecules are moving from this direction. That means these are the cortex, and then these are the epidermis cells, which are interconnected with each other, and these cells and the water moves through these cells and move to the stem, and this is called the apical meristematic tissue. These are the pericycles. These double membrane structures cells are the pericycle. These are the xylem. This is a xylem vessel. This hole is a xylem vessel in which the water vapors through the stroma. These are the stomatas are present. A, B, C are the stomatas are present. These are the air cavity, and this space is called the air cavity, and the lower epidermis. This is called the lower epidermis, and the whole. And these are the chlorophyll cells. These are the epidermis, and this is the cuticles. Cuticles are made with a waxy layer, and this waxy layer is always stop the water moves inside the cell. And these are the upper epidermis, and these are the mesophyll cells. This is a diagram of a leaf, in which this is a diagram of a leaf. This is an anatomical diagram, and there is a morphological diagram in which this is soil and absorption by the roots. Root hairs water and minerals absorbed from the roots and then move to the stem, and then stem move to the leaves, as we study in the last lecture. And the conduction of the xylem vessels, and there is a transpiration by leaves. There is a water transpiration by the leaves. Yes, we and next, the water molecules have the strong force of cohesion, that is a tendency to stick together. This allows the formation of the continuous water column from the top of the trees down to the root tip. In addition, there is always the force of adhesion between the wall of the xylem